When an aircraft is getting ready for takeoff or landing, you can see some part of wing are deflecting downward. These are known as high lift device and will increase surface area of the wing. Now, question may arise. What is the use of high lift device in an aircraft? And what will happen if high lift device are not deployed at the time of takeoff or landing? In order to know answer of this question, please watch the entire video.
Flight 61, wind 0907, take off 07 right. Vertical runway 07 right, Singapore 861.
An aircraft is designed in such a way that it can provide high efficiency at higher speed. Unfortunately, at the time of takeoff or landing, aircraft are operated at lower speed. In order to operate aircraft at low speed, high lift devices are used. These devices will increase lift produced by the wing, which will help to operate aircraft at lower airspeed. If you don't want to know physics behind the high lift devices, then please skip the video too. The general airplane lift equation is L equal to 1 by 2 into rho V square S CL, where L is the amount of lift produced, rho is the air density, V is the true airspeed of the airplane, S is the cross-section area of the wing, CL is the lift coefficient. In order to increase lift produced by the wing at lower airspeed, cross-section area of the wing and lift coefficient must be increased. So, high lift devices are used. As high lift devices are deployed, the cross-section area of the wing will increase. This will also increase camber of the wing, which will increase angle of attack, thus increasing lift produced by the wing. Angle of attack is the angle between horizontal airflow and chord line of the wing. Increase in camber of the wing will also increase chord line of the wing. As the lift produced by wings increases, the stall speed of aircraft decreases, which will help to operate aircraft at lower airspeed. The high lift devices present in an aircraft are flaps and slats. There are two types of flaps present in an aircraft. They are trailing edge flaps and leading edge flaps. The most commonly known flaps is trailing edge flaps. From the beginning of aviation industry to till now, there are four types of trailing edge flaps. They are plain flaps, split flaps, slotted flaps, and Fowler flaps. Plain flaps are hinged back of the wing and pivot down when you extend them. Split flaps are deflected from lower surface of the wing. These two types of flaps are not common in nowadays aircraft because they produce lift, but they also produce a lot of drag. In order to reduce this drag, slotted flaps and floral flaps are used. Slotted flaps are similar to the plain flaps, but with a slot, which will allow high energy air to flow through it, thus reducing wake or drag. Fowler flaps are same as the slotted flaps, but with rearward movement, which will further increase the cross-section area of the wing. These flaps can have more than one slot, which will further reduce drag. For example, in Boeing 747, there are 3 slots in its Fowler flap, which will further reduce drag. Fowler flaps can increase cross-section area and lift coefficient with minimum amount of drag, which is very essential for larger aircraft. The trailing edge flaps are not enough to produce amount of lift required to operate aircraft at lower airspeed. So there are leading edge flaps, which will further increase lift produced by the wing. There are 2 types of leading edge flap. They are Kruger flaps and variable camber leading edge flap. Kruger flaps are least efficient leading edge flap. When extended, Kruger flap will give smoother surface at the leading edge of the wing, allowing airflow to retain maximum kinetic energy. Variable camber leading edge flap are the most efficient as it curves the surface while extending. When extended, it provides more smooth surface at the leading edge of the wing. The camber of the wing will also increase, thus increasing lift produced by the wing. Slats are leading edge high lift device with slot which will allow high energy air to flow through it, thus decreasing wake or drag. All these high lift devices can be controlled from cockpit. There is a flap lever inside the flight deck which will control angle of the trailing edge flap. There are different angle of trailing edge flap. Each position has their own aerodynamic restriction. All the other high lift devices will move along with trailing edge flap. The flap position of an aircraft will vary according to the aircraft type. Like in Airbus A320, there are 4 flap positions: flaps 1, flaps 2, flaps 3 and flaps 4. But in Boeing 737, there are 6 flap positions: flaps 1, flaps 5, flaps 10, flaps 15, flaps 20, flaps 30 and flaps 40. Flaps are very crucial at the time of takeoff and landing. At the time of takeoff, flaps are selected according to the weight of aircraft and length of runway available. If pilot deploy the flap at higher airspeed, then aircraft will overrule the command of pilot. In this case, flaps will not be deployed in order to protect flaps from structural damage. An instrument inside the cockpit will show at which angle flaps are deployed. High lift devices are very crucial at the time of landing and takeoff. But if pilot will forget to deploy them, then a system will give warning inside the cockpit.
Too low, flaps.
An aircraft can take off without flaps, but it will consume more runway, which is very dangerous. Now, a question may arise: what will happen if an aircraft try to take off without deploying flaps? In order to know answer of this, let's take a look at a crash. 31st August 1999, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Lapa 3142 was attempting takeoff from Jorge Newbery Airfield. The aircraft was Boeing 737-200 and was carrying 100 people on board. At 8:54 p.m. local time, the aircraft started its takeoff roll but failed to get airborne. After failing to get airborne, captain aborted the takeoff, but aircraft overran the runway toward a busy highway. The aircraft crashed, killing 65 people, among which 2 were motorists. Investigation of LAPA flight number 3142 revealed that cabin crew were highly unprofessional and were talking about their personal life at the time of performing checklist. They didn't maintain a sterile environment inside cockpit, which affected their ability to follow checklist. While the aircraft began its takeoff roll, a warning went inside cockpit, indicating flaps were not deployed for takeoff. But crew failed to respond to this warning and continued their takeoff roll. Without flaps, aircraft was not able to get airborne and ended up crashing. When investigators view flight history of captain, they found that captain was not able to respond in emergency situation properly. This explains his behavior of continuing takeoff despite warning. The aircraft ended up crashing and 65 people died along with 2 motorists. This crash was the result of highly unprofessional behavior by cabin crew and pilot lack of ability to act against warning. The report of this crash stressed to maintain sterile environment inside cockpit at crucial period of flight. The report also suggested to improve simulator training provided to pilot so that they can tackle every situation without failing. That is all for this video. Thank you everyone for a valuable time. Hope the video might have been informative to you. If you like the content of the channel, then please like, share and subscribe to it. And don't forget to hit the bell icon. If you have any suggestion for the video or you want to share anything with us, then please mention it in the comment section down below. In order to get update about our weekly videos, follow us on social media. Link for all the social media accounts will be given in the description down below. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.